Welcome to our program Stopping Zoonotic Diseases, the Vegan Lifestyle Matters, Part 2 of 2. This two-part series focuses on certain epidemics and pandemics from the past 2 decades that have killed many, such as severe acute respiratory syndrome or SARS, Ebola, swine flu, avian flu, and coronavirus, and their roots in meat consumption or animal livestock raising or both. We also cover how a plant-based diet is the best way to minimize zoonotic diseases or infectious diseases caused by the transmission of germs between animals and humans. Today, we will talk about the novel coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic and provide some tips from experts to help lessen the risk of infection.
Every state now reporting deaths from the virus.
The number of COVID deaths has surged to at least 32,000.
Every one of our patients seriously ill and on a ventilator.
How can we minimize catching coronavirus? Well, the BBC...
Here is a brief introduction to coronaviruses from the World Health Organization or WHO.
Coronaviruses are a large group of viruses. They consist of a core of genetic material surrounded by an envelope with protein spikes. There are different types of coronaviruses that cause respiratory and sometimes gastrointestinal symptoms. Respiratory disease can range from the common cold to pneumonia, and in most people, the symptoms tend to be mild. However, there are some types of coronaviruses that can cause severe disease. These include the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus, first identified in China in 2003, and the Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus that was first identified in Saudi Arabia in 2012.
COVID-19 is a highly infectious coronavirus disease caused by the recently discovered severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2 or SARS-CoV-2 that is genetically related to the severe acute respiratory syndrome or SARS virus. Even though both are coronaviruses, they have important differences. SARS-CoV-2 was not known to scientists before the outbreak began in Wuhan, China in December 2019. Like other coronaviruses, SARS-CoV-2 jumped from animals to humans. According to an online article published by the British medical journal The Lancet in January 2020, 2/3 of the 41 patients initially admitted to a hospital in Wuhan, China, had been exposed to a wholesale seafood market located in the center of the city. The market had a section where live and slaughtered exotic wild animals such as bats, badgers, peacocks, and pangolins were sold. Based on a genetic comparison, researchers from the South China Agricultural University in Guangzhou, China, identified pangolins as a potential source of SARS-CoV-2. Some scientists theorized the pathogen started in bats, jumped to pangolins, and then to humans. The incubation period before one starts showing signs of infection is 2 to 14 days. Even though some patients might experience nasal congestion, runny nose, sore throat, or diarrhea, the most common symptoms of COVID-19 are fever equal to or higher than 38 degrees Celsius, dry cough, shortness of breath, and fatigue or muscle aches. In more severe cases, it can lead to pneumonia, acute respiratory distress syndrome or ARDS, and organ failure. Older people and those with chronic medical conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, or lung disease are more susceptible to becoming infected and face the highest risk of death. Most importantly, the WHO recommends that people with fever, cough, and difficulty breathing call their local health authority regarding receiving medical attention. The data and research findings from previous zoonotic disease epidemic and pandemic events and the current situation with COVID-19 clearly demonstrate that emergency action is needed and governments worldwide should now immediately ban all animal livestock raising and the sale of meat, whether from domestic or wild animals, to not only to protect global public health and save lives, but also to show kindness and respect to our animal friends. We will now briefly pause for a constructive message. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Stopping Zoonotic Diseases, the Vegan Lifestyle Matters, Part 2 of 2, on Supreme Master Television. Currently, the best way to protect yourself from getting infected by the novel coronavirus is to avoid being exposed to it. When a person with COVID-19 sneezes, coughs, or exhales, small droplets that carry the virus from their nose or mouth can land on objects and surfaces around the person. A study released in March 2020 found plastic and stainless steel surfaces can harbor the novel coronavirus for up to 72 hours, and it can live on cardboard for up to 24 hours. High-touch areas that might be contaminated include doorknobs, elevator buttons, tables, light switches, handrails, countertops, and bathroom fixtures. Even shopping carts, ATM screens, gas pumps, checkout keypads, and other publicly used items can be reservoirs for the virus. If people touch infected objects or surfaces, they can catch COVID-19 by rubbing their nose or eyes or touching their mouth with their hands. Regular hand washing is strongly recommended to help prevent infection. If soap and water are not available, use alcohol-based hand sanitizers, at least 60% concentration. Here is a public service announcement from the UK's National Health Service, or NHS, regarding the WHO recommended hand washing technique for hygiene. The NHS states, you should wash your hands for the amount of time it takes to sing Happy Birthday twice, or around 20 seconds. Not only can the virus-carrying droplets be transferred by touching contaminated surfaces, but they also can be inhaled by another person standing close enough to an infected individual who is coughing, sneezing, and/or exhaling. This is why it is crucial to keep a distance of at least 2 meters away from an infected person and cover one's mouth and nose with a tissue when coughing or sneezing, and discard it afterwards. Some important public health measures that some governments are requiring include social distancing, meaning asking citizens to avoid crowds and large gatherings, skipping non-essential trips outside the home, and avoiding close contact with others by foregoing greetings like handshakes and hugging. A surgical mask is designed to guard against splashes and droplets and also wall off the droplets from the wearer. The WHO recommends cleaning one's hands before putting on a mask. A mask only has a short period of efficacy and one should not touch the mask's front while wearing it. It is advised to change the mask if it becomes damp or soiled. The correct way to wear a surgical mask includes ensuring a good fit by securing the loops around the ears, covering the mouth, nose, and chin, as well as pinching the metal strip or stiff edge against the nose ridge, and ensuring no gaps between the mask and face. Remove the mask by holding the loops without touching the mask's front and dispose of it in a closed waste bin. One's hands should then be washed. Now is the time to make the right choice of showing kindness and love to our animal co-inhabitants who share our planet.
How many people can just sacrifice a little taste of the palate just to be a noble being, just to be a compassionate person, worthy of being the crown of the creation? Then I don't even need to go teaching, I don't need to do anything anymore. It would be much better, and the animals will be happy, human will be more elevated, and hospital will be less. So let's wish that the human beings, all of them, will wake up to their noble intention inside their heart. Before they were born, or when they were just born, they were noble, pure, heroic. So let's hope that the human beings will awaken within themselves these superior quality, which make us the crown of the creation. Let them wake them up, and then we will be all in heaven, really. If no more killing, this planet shall be heaven.
May we now make zoonotic diseases and illnesses from eating animal products a thing of the past by humanity rapidly switching to the health-protecting vegan diet. For information about coronavirus or COVID-19, please visit who.int.